One thing for sure on your journey to creating a business for yourself, there are going to be moments when you are confronted with a lack of confidence. Listen, I don't want you to think that being in business just for a year is the reason why you sometimes don't feel confident, or that somehow it has something to do with you and who you are as a person, why you sometimes don't feel confident. The truth is, every business owner in some aspect of their work experiences a lack of confidence. So it's just a reality. And I want you to cozy up to this lack of confidence and figure out how you can continue to grow, improve, and progress in spite of it. See, a lot of times we equate the concept of imposter syndrome as being something that is a huge permanent block to our success. And it's not true. I actually think that we spend a lot more time thinking about why we might be experiencing a lack of confidence or the level of our lack of confidence by focusing on terms like imposter syndrome. I love thinking about imposter syndrome because I do believe it creates a frame for people to be able to see themselves. Because even if you're rocking it out, you're still going to feel that imposter syndrome if it's real for you. But I don't want people to get so cozy with thinking about imposter syndrome that they don't really start to use the more practical description of a lack of confidence. The reason that's a much more practical description is because that's the one that you can use to actually build a strategy to overcome the problem, right? So if we're talking about imposter syndrome, you're going to have hundreds of reasons why you might feel that you're just not good enough. You'll look for evidence that supports your being kind of odd, that when people find out that you're not as good as they think you should be, that you'll be, ousted for this discovery, or even this feeling that, man, if you fail, if somehow you don't get it right, this is the evidence that will be needed to just persecute you professionally from now until the end of time, right? That feeling is real when folks are navigating the experience of imposter syndrome. And I think it's unfortunate because the truth is, even when you get brave enough to push past it and go on out there and make something happen, your brain will still find ways to cut you down, right? That's kind of how this thing works. So I'd rather instead to focus on confidence. What are the things that you can do to build yourself up from the inside, right? So that even as you are journeying in this entrepreneurial game and as you are growing as a professional, you've got a whole jetpack full of tools that you can use to help you leap past some of these pitfalls of confidence that are going to come up for all of us, okay? So instead of thinking about the reason why you might feel this way, instead, I want you to think about the strategies you can use to take action in spite of it, right? Because the truth is, at the end of the day, the only way that you can really build confidence is to take action and see yourself win. You have to prove to yourself, not anyone else, but to yourself, that you can do the things that you are envisioning for yourself and for your business, right? And that proof comes through action. Even if you have 100 affirmations, even if you say them daily and have gone to therapy, there will be a moment when the rubber must meet the road and you have to take action. And in doing so, you will build the very confidence you felt you were lacking in the beginning, right? So keep taking imperfect action even if you're not getting it right. Because through that, you can gather information that's going to help you to improve, create a new strategy, and try again next time, right? This is not a one time and done operation. You are continually going to be growing, met with new challenges, rise to the occasion, learn from what happened, and going on to the next challenge as you keep growing in business, right? And so sometimes I notice that people feel discouraged about the lack of results in areas where they want to see themselves growing. But you cannot be upset about the results you didn't get from work you didn't do. So I want you to try, put yourself out there, even if it's imperfect. That way you can get closer and closer to your dreams. Okay. So when you're able to take what you've learned from even the failed moment, you can incorporate that into a sharpened strategy that keeps you kind of getting strong as you're going forward. So I know that perfectionism is a real safe home base for people when it comes to putting themselves out there and taking action. But I don't want you to paralyze yourself in that way. There may be spaces where you're not going to get it right the first time. Who does? Right? Who gets it right the first time? But that doesn't mean that you don't continue to put yourself out there and grow. And so I want you to focus on, instead of the things that didn't work, focus on what did work, glean what you can from the process, and keep moving forward. So I'd love to hear from you the strategies that you are using to help yourself continue to grow your confidence, because that is the stuff that you need. It's the fuel that helps you to move forward in the creation of a business that is satisfying and profitable. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to share it with another mental health professional you know if they too are struggling with putting themselves out there and really being the expert that they actually are. Because around here, we are all about helping you to take good care of yourself, take good care of your clients, and of course, to take good care of business.